Welcome to Watch What You Say podcast. I am your host, Beaux Emerson. This is episode 1. Oh my gosh, this has been something in the making for so long. But I recently got a package in the mail, a gift that said, it was like a scroll, and it said, start where you are, do what you can, and use what you have. And that has kind of stuck with me. And one of the things that I needed to start was this podcast. And so here we are, episode 1. And so my goal with this podcast is to talk about what we say and how words that we use are important. Words have the ability to make someone's day brighter, or cause someone to think about who they are, or think about their actions, or think about their inactiveness in dealing with relationships, whether that's in romantic, personal, anything like that. So here we are. And so today we are going to be unpacking something that lives in the space, and it's called miscommunication. But more than that, it's emotional misalignment. And while we're here, this month is mental health awareness month. Next month is men's mental health awareness. So not just for the fellas, but for everyone. If you've ever struggled to say how you feel, been misunderstood, or held back by what you didn't say, then stay tuned. So the disconnect, we hear it all the time. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean that. I didn't say that. And but your intentions don't always translate, especially when men and just people in general are taught to suppress their feelings and what they mean, just kind of go on about their day. Good intentions don't fix poor delivery. Let me say that again. Good intentions do not fix poor delivery. And silence often comes from a place of mental exhaustion. It's like, you know what, I don't have time to deal with this right now. You're getting on my nerves. And if I say what I really want to say right now, it's going to be an issue. And we cannot operate like that. So men in particular, we have a tendency to, we're less likely to go to therapy. I'm happy to say that I have been in therapy myself for an entire year. I've been through 3 therapists. My 3rd therapist is, we seem to be doing well. It's caused me to really look at myself and my actions and see where I fall short, and also the things that I'm actually doing well. So, and to be able to talk openly about our emotions, because men, we definitely are not ones to talk about how we feel all the time. And so that has been something that I'm unlearning for myself. So, and we're not taught to speak from the heart, because that's kind of seen as a girly thing to do or a feminine thing to do. And that's just not the truth. Sometimes if we're able to speak from the heart and share how we really feel, that will stop us from being so angry all the time. I'm just saying. So yeah, we have to be real with ourselves. And one of the things I'm learning from my therapist is that you have to stop and acknowledge the feelings when you feel those things: anger, sadness, fear, because we all feel it's part of the human emotional spectrum. That's an aha moment for me. But the human emotional spectrum. And so we have to do our due diligence, and it's for ourselves to do the work. And sometimes say what you mean and get it off your chest so that you are not holding it in, because studies have shown holding stuff in leads to high volumes of stress, which also leads to diseases like cancer. So we don't want that. We want to be here on this earth for a long time if we can. And so now here's where I get a little bit personal. So thinking about a time where I had a conversation where I said something and didn't necessarily mean it the way I said it. It came out wrong with the amount of frustration and anger. And I said some words that were not very nice. And this is a real moment. I was talking to my mom, and she had sent me a text about something that she had been dealing with, and I had to help and bring her out of the situation. And it was so frustrating because I had been building up for months now with having to help out with something. And I was on my way to work and I got this long text and said, X, Y, and Z, I need X, Y, and Z. And I just got very, very angry, called, and I didn't curse, at her, but I was cursing in my delivery, which is out of character for me because I don't speak like that, especially when it comes to my parents. And so it was a moment where I was so angry in the moment that I just said, and, said a few curse words and hung up the phone. I took care of what needed to be taken care of for her, but it was just a very frustrating moment for me. And so I had to call back my mother and apologize and be man enough to apologize and say, I'm sorry because I should not have yelled at you. I should not have said what I said in terms of the curse words that were used. And she forgave me. And it wasn't even the fact that I was cursing at her. I was just upset at the fact that in my delivery, I was cursing, which is something that I don't normally do when I'm speaking with parental figures. If it's friends or whatever, I don't care. That's, you're my peers. I'll say what I want. But with my parents, it's a little different. But I'm finding that as an adult, maybe you guys understand this. As an adult, your relationships with your parents seem to really change in the sense that you go from, I can't tell you when the exact point happens, but there's a point where you're an adult, but your relationship changes to the fact where you can have a conversation about anything for the most part. And you see your parents as full adults and they see you as full adults for the most part. And you're able to the scales are balanced a little bit. You're able to say what you mean for the most part, and have those real candid conversations with them. And I think for me in the past several years, I've kind of understood that having those conversations with my father and with my mother and even grandparents and older cousins and things like that, you're able to really, really talk to them as human beings who are flawed and have hopes and dreams and successes and also where they've fallen short. I think one of the most beautiful things is to have a conversation with an adult that you have respect for and admire, and they're able to share something real with you or let you know that life is not perfect, that you are going to make mistakes that, and sometimes it's going to be your fault and it's going to be out of your control. And sometimes you're going to say the wrong things at the wrong time. And so for anybody who's listening to this, be encouraged that you are not alone, that we all mess up sometimes, but we have to speak our truths. So one of the things that we deal with or have a problem with, or I've had a problem with, is normalizing expression and how we feel with what we say. And expressing yourself clearly is not weakness. I just want to let you know that it's actually a form of self-respect. You don't need to explode or shut down to be heard. I think a lot of times, especially for men, we are afraid to really share how we're feeling because we may think that our peers would think that we are weak, that we have no backbone. And that's actually the opposite. I know that sometimes I have stopped myself from saying something, and it actually to the benefit of the situation, because if I had said what I needed or what I wanted to say at the time, it would have completely blown up the situation and it would have been a lot worse. But sometimes holding back and just listening really, really will temper the conversation and temper the situation. And you don't need to guess at being misunderstood. Say what you feel. I think there was a John Mayer song that says, say what you need to say. I don't know. I have to go back and do my research on that. But your voice protects you too. And your mental health deserves protection. And again, getting it off of your shoulders, saying what you need to say when you need to say it, really keeps a spirit of freedom. You're not bogged down, and you're not thinking about, oh, I should have said this. You can't do that. You can't go back. You can only move forward. So if something seems to be heavy on you, name it. If you're not okay, say it. That's where I think that's where the healing starts. And I find that a lot of individuals are walking around unhealed humans in today. Unhealed humans. There's so much stress from our jobs, from our families, from your children, from all the types of relationships that we have. Sometimes there's stress involved because we're not able to fully express ourselves and say what we need to say at the appropriate time. And so I would encourage you to use your voice, speak up, talk to someone other than yourself. If you're talking to yourself, as long as you don't answer yourself, I think you're okay. And so now we've come to a segment that I like to call Word to the Wise. Almost feels like I'm back in the 90s, but that's neither here nor there. But, say what you mean so no one has to decode you. And not just for them, but for you too. And because mental peace isn't about saying or about staying quiet. It's really about speaking clearly and right to the point. So this week, ask yourself 2 questions. 1, am I honoring how I feel or am I hiding it? And 2, do my words reflect my truth or just my habits? Do my words reflect my truth or do they just reflect my habits? That's a truth bomb right there. I'm going to, that's a truth bomb right there. Thanks for joining me for my very first episode of Watch What You Say podcast. Thank you for joining me, being with me. I hope that you stick around because we have a lot to discuss and to talk about. If this hits something in you, especially for my brothers, share it. You can follow me at Beaux Emerson on IG and also Watch What You Say pod. And remember that mental health deserves space, deserves breath, and deserves a voice. So join us next week where we're going to talk about Silence Isn't Peace. And we're also going to get into some culture, entertainment, and even some politics. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining me for this very first episode. I love you guys. Have a great week and see you soon.